we are also having a conversation around how to mitigate violence against women, and we recognize the need for that framework to be inclusive, and hence you've seen representatives of political parties across the political divide in Zimbabwe. You've also seen women who have contested as independent candidates, and you've also seen women who are actually in independent commissions, women in the Ministry of Women's Affairs, women coming from various civil society and community-based organizations to come together and really interrogate how we can contribute towards a national framework of responding to violence against women in politics.
I think at one stage, women organizations have to engage the law enforcing agents. The way they are handling my issues of violence ano discourage to the extent yekuti madzimai mamwe anotozviregera. Ndiri kugara mumarural area mune madzimai ari kumapoison nemadzimai ari kuzviuraya. After aenda kumapurisa, mapurisa haana zvaanoita. Anoti tichaenda endai munopa tsamba iyi kune murume wacho ari kukurova kuti auye kuno. How can you go with the letter yemupurisa kune murume akuponda? Makamboona zviri normal. So I think they also need to be educated on how to handle this domestic violence as far as police is concerned. And also police needs to be educated on how to handle political violence. And the only way these people can be educated is to engage them. All political parties, each time you are having rallies, yes, you can call them spies or whatever, but make sure that they are there pamarallies enyu, because kune vamwe vazori sympathetic vekuti vanogona kubatsira kuripota the right action which has taken place, but because isu takapo attitude yekuti hanzi mapurisa vatengesi, masoja vatengesi, ava vatengesi. In fact, basa ravo law enforcing agent ndere kuti safeguard isusu nekuti chengetedza security yedu, handiti tikaziva izvozvo chete tinova engage. Saka isusu, let's open up.
All forms of gender-based violence are crimes. Not that they are viewed separately from the other crimes. A crime is a crime. No matter whatever form it takes, a crime is a crime.
Sometimes we are happy that we now have laws to protect us, but then it takes a very long time for the implementation process to be there, and we continue being the victims of such, because other issues that were raised was that some of these screenshots that you have come with are not permissible in the court of law.
I'm very concerned with this very fact that we have a lot of women from back then and to date who have been victims and survivors of political violence and gender-based violence. How are we criminalizing it? Do we have certain laws that make us criminalize? And have you approached the courts, probably with the human rights lawyers?
I find that in the CSO space, there is this tendency of us coming up with policies, we have laws, etc. But I have not yet seen people engaging the judiciary on capacitation. I'm speaking directly to the issue of cyber evidence. I'll tell you that at the moment in the Magistrate's Handbook, there is no provision as to how you actually receive information or any evidence that is related to the media, anything on the phone. And I'll speak directly to the fact that when it comes to, say, Econet Net 1 messages or phone calls, you're supposed to call the particular service provider to testify. Now, in the issue of Twitter and Facebook, where we are mostly harassed, how exactly are we supposed to go about it? Do not think we are engaging the judiciary enough to find out which sort of capacity do they need, how best can we go about it? Because it's one thing to have policy and subordinate legislation, but when it comes to criminal law, the criminal code is the Bible of it all. And if the magistrate's handbook, if the judge's handbook does not contain the particular procedures of evidence, and then we go back again to blame them, I'm not sure how we are supposed to reconcile the two. But I do recommend that we engage the judiciary and the ZRB seriously, as they are the custodians of the law.
We talk about political violence, right? We talk about domestic violence. When you nomenclature something, you can sometimes, not knowing it, excuse it. Violence is violence, and the law criminalizes violence. Somehow, when we say political, we're almost excusing it. When we said domestic violence, we put it in the private. But the laws we have on the book criminalize any form of violence, even though it says in the Domestic Violence Act, but it's really trying to criminalize all kinds of violence as a crime.